Hello there, my name is Dalis Obanda. I'll be taking you through a project that I created that runs a small language model locally on the Raspberry Pi. So we begin by SSHing into the Raspberry Pi from my PC's command line terminal. Once I enter my credentials, I check to see what Docker images are on my Pi. This is needed when I try and run a container because I'm going to need the image name so that I can build my container. So I type in docker run, D for detached, P specifies the port. In this case, it is port 8000. And then I get the name of the image so that I can then build my Docker container. Once this Docker container starts up, it immediately runs the small language model application. Forgot to put sudo there. There we go. And now, to access this application, look, if it was running on our local PC, I'll simply use localhost to access it. But since it is on the Pi, I have to get the IP address of the Pi so that I can be able to access this application running on the Pi. So in order to do that, I run the command IPA. The A is short for address. I go to my Ethernet port and get that IP address. That's the IP of my Raspberry Pi. Go into my web browser, enter that IP address, and once I run it, there we go. We have the application with a simple user interface. Now, we can begin to prompt this application, send prompts to our AI. In this case, let's ask it about RESTful APIs. We used a lot in this project, so that's a good question. We get our response, RESTful API, representational state transfer, set of architectural principles for designing web services that communicate. This is running on a Pi. I think it's doing a good job for 1 gigabyte of RAM. And just as a bonus, I also did the same. I made an application, Docker container for my PC running on x86 architecture. And here's the comparison. Since it's on my PC now, I'm using localhost. And I can prompt it to let me ask it about PyTorch. I used a lot of PyTorch as well for this project. I enter in that prompt, I run it, and voila, there we go. PyTorch is a popular deep learning framework used for training and deploying large language models. I mean, this is running completely locally. That is my project.